And out a little across the 25 to the 27. McCarthy going to put it up right away. And he's got it. Oh, right away, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. Well, this defense for the Packers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence. It allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. When you look at this Packers defense, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
Let's go.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Packers are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself in an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Willis. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 10.
After 60, after 70 range, 18, pioneer.
Throwing is McCarthy. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. Willis looking to throw it. He'll buy some time right. Right side to Watson. Into space at the 45. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, He ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Willis. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Ready. Check go.
To throw, here's Willis. That one out wide and intercept. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And it looks like the defense has got it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
Here's McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Track at 60. Go street. Go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Cut 19. Ready.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, McCarthy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's a tap forward by McCarthy on the touch pass. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing again, McCarthy. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but it got his man complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Now Willis to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Davis Price on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Now 2nd and 9. McCarthy operating from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down. McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to.
Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Greedy Williams picks it off, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
Ready? Street, go! 18 Cardinal.
Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy, a check down here to Jones. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 9 now. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
Seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Packers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Following the interception, Love
got Dobbs over the middle.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Love going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass going to turn into a loss. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
A 50-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The final shot before break. McCarthy.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Vikings 7.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback And the third quarter will start from the 30. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
They'll try the left side. Lloyd. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. To throw now. Here's Love. Flush to his right.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy going underneath. He's got Hawkinson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he stopped immediately there.
Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Love fires that quickly outside. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Flushed out right. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
18 rep. Mustang 19.
In motion, the tight end. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He gets this one to Davis Price.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
To the air with McCarthy.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 52 yards.
And the Vikings have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he is going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Lloyd.
And he's going to have a Packers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there.
Viking 18. Set up. Ready.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. Hut, hut.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Love now. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Warrior 70.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Love.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
18, Pioneer. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Check go.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Complete, it's Johnson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing, Love. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that gives them a 3-point lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now McCarthy.
He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man complete. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Here's McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And between the last two plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. This is 1st and 10.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Here we go, here we go. Panther 11, Panther 11. Trap 60, trap 60. Go.
Now Love.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
18, Rattler, 18. Come on, set.
Love. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
Love looking to throw it. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Ready. Mustang 19. 19 tight. 19 tight.
Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big fella go.
And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with 1st and goal.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Cam Akers, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Packers have regained the lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Cowboy 80. Ready.
They'll try to run it with Jacobs. And he'll get into the end zone. So that pushes the lead up to 4. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
60 Bobcat. Let's go now.
Back to throw.
Completes this to Jefferson.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big gain.
Back to throw.
Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. Down the sideline he goes.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson.
70 yards.
And the Vikings use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Warrior 70. Ready.
Love looking to throw it.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Here's 2nd down.
70 Timberwolf.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd
Here's Love.
at the 37-yard line.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that